trying to leak our information. Is you a prophet or is you for profit? Is you for yourself or for the nation? Oh, is that logic? Why you keep fucking around? You're so nasty. Oh, you get it wrong. You're so nasty. You's a lie, you's a lie, you's a right now, you's a lie, you's a lie, you should sit down.
Good morning, evening, or afternoon, depending on what part of the globe you're on, what time zone you're in. I am your host, Skeptically Speaking.
And I'm Sweet Pea from across the pond.
And we're off to a great start. You found us. Thank you for searching high and low. You found us on YouTube, of course. But did you know you can also find us on TikTok, Blue Sky, Instagram, Threads, Facebook, Kick, Rumble, Twitch, Twitter, and also Substack? Yes, indeed. How are you, Sweet Pea?
I'm doing okay. I got a few new followers on that upvoted. Site's a little, it seems to be okay so far. I've already got DMs. How are you doing today, Skeptically?
I'm doing great. I'm good. I'm good. Today's show is brought to you by Svetka Vodka and Lemonade.
Sounds delicious.
I mean, who knew that the two went together so well? Ooh.
I have chai latte, I do.
Yeah, so chai latte. All right.
Delicious.
Sounds like it. Well, looks like rats are fleeing a sinking ship, as it were. So we've got people who are sick and fed up with the consequences of their own action, and so they're quietly taking down all of their Make America Great Again merchandise, decoration, decor, whatever. I mean, flags are being lowered, not to be put back up. So, yeah. It's just clown car posse. It really is. Sad too, you know. It's like everyone has a breaking point, you know. Everyone has the limit to what they can put up with. And so there's only so much bullshit, and especially we've talked in the past about farmers who are losing their farms, literally bet the farm and losing it all. They're like, I love Trump, I love what he did, but I tell you, we're getting hammered out here, and we're losing. No one's buying from us anymore. It's like, well, yeah, idiot, no one's buying from you because you are not you're not a reliable provider.
If only they actually read Trump's policies. I mean, actually read his policies and not just his concepts of plans, actually read his policies before voting for him.
Oh no, they don't
I'm-
care. They don't read. That's the thing.
I'm all for Maga leaving if that's truly what they want, but they need to accept the consequences of their actions. They need to accept their play in what is happening now. They need to not go on
Here,
the attack, and they need to admit their part in it. They need to sort of accept what really happened and not keep pushing these disinformation lies. that
You know
they
what's
started
ironic?
while-
they are not changing in ideology. They just want temporary relief from the symptoms. They're still going to vote MAGA. They're just not going to call themselves a Trump supporter. Case in point, this fuckstick podcaster, comedian, Eric Schultz, I think his name is. Andrew Schultz. He's about our age. And let's listen to him. I'm loath to put him on, but let's see if I can speed this along, because I'm not listening to him in a regular speed. Fuck that.
All right, let's talk about what happened in Minneapolis. ICE murdered an American citizen in cold blood, and then the Trump...
Okay, he's calling it a murder. Okay, I can at least give him that. At least he's being honest. But more importantly, his fan base understands this, and they can't believe that the government that they voted in power would shoot a citizen that was not posing a threat at all.
The administration called him a domestic terrorist.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like, plain and simple.
Yeah.
I see the administration trying to spin it, and it's fucking disgusting. It's like they didn't even have a moment where they're like, hey, we're reviewing the footage, we're going to try to see what's really happening. All of them, Trump and all the cronies, put out collective statements that immediately blamed an American citizen that was exercising his First and Second Amendment rights. Right? He has a right to protest, he has a right to carry a firearm, he's a legal gun owner, right? There's no question about this whatsoever. And the administration immediately comes out and they try to gaslight the public, which you cannot do when we have 15 different videos of what happened.
Yes.
And
It is what they do.
Mm-hmm.
But that is what they do. And I think that governments have probably been doing this for centuries, millennia. And now you have a public that is armed with phones and we can see what actually fucking happened. And you're not going to just lie to us, plain and simple like that. And yeah, it's just, I mean, to me, it's like you can have, first of all, I know we've had Trump on the podcast. I know there's probably people like you guys are the last ones that want to hear talk about this. I don't think any of us are having this conversation to like curry any like goodwill or, get people to like us or something like that. This is something that is undeniably abhorrent. And you should be called out. Simple as that.
Yep.
It's disgusting.
I get the frustration. People are like, oh, you guys were with him, da da da.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I get it.
100%. I get it. Again, if you never want to watch another thing,
Hey Tom powers the food service.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, no, we don't want to hear from you at all. If that's possible.
Why are they surprised when Trump literally said himself that he could go out and shoot anyone and nothing
Blatantly.
said?
I could stand in the middle of
Yeah.
Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and not lose a single supporter.
Exactly. So
He said
how
that
are
shit.
they surprised? Yeah. So how are they surprised he's now using his Gestapo ICE agents to murder citizens? Why are they surprised? Trump basically said what he was doing. Trump has said what he's doing all along. Why act surprised about it?
Yeah, I mean, I am fully convinced that Trump could come in, rape a family member, and that they still would figure out a way to keep supporting him.
The frustration. People are like, oh, you guys were with him, da da da.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I get it.
100%. I get it.
Yeah.
Again, if you never want to watch another thing again because we have Trump, that is totally fine. Respect it. I completely get it. You're 100% allowed to be frustrated.
We made that decision knowing it was open to criticism. All right, there it is.
No knock on any criticism. That being said, like moving forward, we don't just like stay silent when something has this. Like if we do have a platform, there's people that we're talking to, you know, and we see something that is just so blatant. There's no like partisan bullshit with this. If you see it with your own eyes, you know exactly what happened. And there's something disgusting that's happening not only in Minneapolis, I'm sure it's happening in other parts of the United States, where ICE is under the guise of security, right? Under the guise of safety, because that's what they're doing, right? Is every time something horrific happens, they keep going, but look at the pedophiles we got, look at the murderers we got, look at all the violent criminals we got. I looked at the numbers. 5% of the people they deported are violent criminals.
Yes. There's probably more pedophiles in the Oval Office.
Exactly. If you bring up another fucking pedophile about deporting and you're not releasing the Epstein list, just shut the fuck up, all of you.
Yes.
I don't want to hear anything else about, oh, we got to get deported pedophiles. They're right here.
Yeah.
They're right here. They're a list of them. And you're not.
And you voted for him. You voted for him. You voted for a pedophile. I would like to hear you say that you voted for a pedophile.
Exposing it. And this is the thing that we've been asking for even before Trump was in office. Anyway.
What? And you still voted for the man. Didn't stop you, did it? These guys have no shame.
Is you see this act, and then you see ICE, and the way that ICE is operating, right? With, I mean, masked guys, no name tags. 100%. Like, I heard people bringing it up, and like, sometimes people are trying to go like, oh, you're exaggerating. No. You have to understand. It's like you have a government-enforced militia with no accountability.
Poor training.
Inexperienced, poor training. Obviously, you saw from this circumstance, no effort to de-escalate. If anything, efforts to escalate the situation. And yeah, it's absolutely disgusting. And then when you see the administration defend it, you go, well, where will the accountability ever come from? This is a government-enforced agency, and the government is backing them immediately without even reviewing the tapes, saying that they did nothing wrong. So you have guys that you don't know their names, you don't know what they look like, that the government is backing with impunity. What do you think is going to happen? More of this is going to happen.
Yeah. Joey's from Minneapolis, obviously. He was saying they have more ICE officials or whatever than they do law enforcement, like actual police officers in Minneapolis and St. Paul. And apparently they have a quota of people, and that's why they're in such a rush to arrest as many people as possible.
They're doing things that objectively, I don't care which side of the island you're on, objectively are unconstitutional. So no matter which side of the island, you would like to uphold the Constitution a little bit, right? Like you can't enter someone's home without a warrant, and not some like federal administrative bullshit warrant that they're trying to like skirt around in. Yeah. You cannot enter someone's home without an actual warrant. I think it's like the judicial amendment, it's the Fourth Amendment. Yeah, exactly. So it's like, and they're just entering homes. Dude, I saw them arrest somebody for having an accent, and the ICE agent that arrested him had an accent. Yeah. Did you see that video? And the guy was like, "You got an accent too." Exactly. And it was just like, you're seeing that they're. I mean, obviously for the situation of them deporting legal residents, like we at a certain point in time, and I think this is why there's zero support for this. I think it's important to speak up because I've spoken to a lot of people who are seeing it and they think it's abhorrent, and they go, I don't know if I feel comfortable talking about it. I don't know if they feel like exposure to Trump or whatever like that. I think those are the moments where you got.
Where's all this bravery? You MAGAs were so brave and brazen and 1776 and we don't give a fuck and blah 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 blah. Now you can't even call a spade a spade. You can't even acknowledge reality. Where's the courage? You know? You fucking MAGAs were real brave. January 6, 2021. You guys got real brave flaunting social distancing guidelines. Hey, will you please get a vaccine? Will you please wear a mask so we don't spread a highly contagious disease? No, I took dewormer. I'm okay. I took ivermectin from the same company that's producing the vaccine. I don't trust the vaccine. I mean, let's just get through it.
Gotta speak up, especially because
you see how Trump moves. It's like, hey, you speak up, you're out.
All right, then you're out. Who gives a fuck?
And that's the problem. Everybody in this administration wants to be there.
Well, then I'm not even talking about people in the administration. I'm just talking about regular people that were sympathetic to some of the immigration reform that Trump was talking about, and then are realizing no, this is not what they wanted at all. And now they're just kind of quiet because they're worried about like getting licks or getting public lashings or criticism on the internet. So, get it, get it. And anybody who wants to criticize us for a platform, 100%, that is fair, 100%. But that doesn't mean you just stay quiet. Like if you see something that you look at and you're like, I don't think this is America that I want to live in, and which is the sentiment of everybody right now. There are a few like ideologues on the internet that are trying to defend this. I'm sure you guys have seen it. Yeah. But I think the majority of Americans are looking at this and they're going, this is not a country that we believe that we are.
You are now. This is the country we've always been. See, this is amazing to me. Most of these guys are, the majority of this podcast, there's two white guys, a black guy, and a Middle Eastern, not sure what ethnicity he is. This has always been America. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
We see how they treat the black community. Wake the fuck up. Where have you been?
Can I point
You know,
out something really quickly?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. So, yeah, ivermectin is great if you've eaten, say, raw meat or raw fish and you need to get rid of parasites in your
It's a
guts,
it's a dewormer. Yeah.
or a brain worm. That is great. You cannot take
Kennedy could have used that back in the day.
Yeah, you can't use anti-parasitic medication on
A virus.
viruses.
Right.
Yeah, you need
Totally separate applications. I'm like,
Yeah, exactly. Two different things. You know, you can't use something that is meant to get rid of like worms and other sort of microorganisms to get rid of a virus. They don't work like that. They, you know, it's
yeah.
it's like having acid reflux and you drink lemon juice to get rid of it instead of Gaviscon. It makes that much sense.
And I don't get these. I'm sorry, I don't get these people at all. You saw the first administration. You saw it happen and unfold. How the fuck can you justify supporting him the second time around? Fuck every one of these guys on this panel. Fuck you all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm just done with these guys. Delete. I'm not gonna spend another. So let's go to another Daily Beast article. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I mean, it's all very well that they are now wanting to come out quietly, but they need to acknowledge the damage that they help cause. You know,
They're never gonna do it. No.
Accountability. They need to learn accountability.
Well, looks like I'm through with Daily Beast articles. I'm just going to have to move on to another. This is from the Alternate. Trump voters quietly ditching MAGA, explain why. Amanda Marcotte has written extensively about low information independents who don't necessarily pay close attention to politics but were drawn to Trump's messaging on the economy in 2024. And those independents and swing voters don't have the intense devotion to Trump that his hardcore MAGA base does. How in the world, how could you be drawn to Trump's messaging? What was his message? He had no plan. He literally tanked the economy the first time around due to his lack of response to COVID-19. He was given a great economy by Barack Obama. He was handed it on a silver platter. Within the first 4 years, all of that padding was gone. All of those numbers, all of the job creation, just gone, wiped out. And then he doubles down the second time around, where we're gonna go even further than we did. And they're drawn to Trump's messaging. I wonder what that messaging was. Because Kamala Harris literally talked about making groceries affordable, getting relief to people, bringing down the cost of utilities, gas, electric.
I think the trouble is Trump pretending to be a Christian, and most of the Christians have got it twisted in their mind. When they talk about the passages of the trumpets, they've misinterpreted that for Trump being that trumpet. But yeah, he does blow his own ass, but that's besides the point. I think most of them have misinterpreted that passage, thinking that he is the second coming.
Yeah. So Amanda says, a decade into our collective Donald Trump nightmare, most of the reality-based population has given up on hoping MAGA voters will wake up and see the light. We've come to realize that he could eat a live kitten on TV, and they unwillingly will admit his critics were right all along, would argue that the kitten was Antifa, and liberals are the ones who are stupid for not seeing the threat that the kitty posed to our safety. I predicted this miserable state of affairs back in 2017.
Oh.
After interviewing psychology experts on cognitive dissonance. This is just willful stupidity, is what this is. For Trump voters, the pain of saying I was wrong is too great. Well, of course, these people are busted in the brain. These people are broken mentally. And they have the temerity and the gall to assume they know more than people who have done the reading, who have done the research, who've studied. Oh, we know better than you. They would rather burn the country to the ground than accept fault. Yeah, this is it. The worse Trump acts, the harder they cling to him because the psychic price of saying liberals were right all along grows steeper. Yeah. Slicing your face off just to not have to admit you were wrong. You know what? We need to stop subsidizing the lazy and the incompetent. We need to stop subsidizing red states. We really do. Stop sending the money. Stop sending the money. Why are we giving these ungrateful ingrates? Why are we giving them anything? What are they doing with it? Huh? What are they doing with it? They're not raising enough funds. They're not raising tax revenues to cover basic necessities in their state because they're letting their billionaires run hog wild. And so blue states have had to step up and subsidize states like Texas, Missouri, Arkansas, Mississippi, Louisiana. All these deep red states that depend on communist, bleeding heart liberal states' money. Blue states. We need to cut the welfare. This is ridiculous. Let them go into default. Let them just collapse. They want their 1776 moment. They want to be totally independent. Let them collapse. Polling suggests that a small but important number of Trump voters are trying to pull an Irish exit, abandoning the coalition quietly rather than continuing the miserable task of pretending that he's doing okay. Unbelievable. You don't get to quietly slip out and pretend, well, I wasn't a bug. You set fire to the house and now you're just going to slip out the back door? Fuck you. We're not doing that. You don't get that consideration. It's just wild. And they think they shouldn't have to be held accountable for anything. You know, the ones who, the party of law and order, the party of personal responsibility, and they take no responsibility at all. None. Fuck these guys. Oh, did you hear? This is another article from the Daily Beast. Okay. Trump's team's secret meetings with group plotting to break up Canada exposed. A very, very senior official in Trump administration have had secret meetings with far-right Canadian separatists trying to shake the foundations of the country. The covert meetings between high-ranking U.S. officials and the Alberta Prosperity Project came as a widening rift appears between Canadian leadership and the White House. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney used a speech in Davos, Switzerland, last week to call out President Trump for creating a rupture in the existing world order. These people, they just crush. They just wreck everything in their path, and they don't care. This was created fertile ground for the clandestine meetings, with the separatists trying to capitalize on the friction. People familiar with the talks have told the Financial Times that the group from the oil-rich province where Carney grew up have met U.S. State Department officials in Washington, D.C. 3 times in the last 9 months. These people need to be arrested as traitors. This is what happens when you tolerate this shit. This is what happens when tolerance is taken to the fullest extreme. You're literally letting the enemies of the state run amok and just plan absolute carnage. The U.S. is extremely enthusiastic about a free and independent Alberta. We're meeting very, very senior people, leaving our meetings to go directly to the Oval Office. Sources told the publication the group wants another meeting in February where they plan to request $500 billion credit facility to help prop up the province financially if an independent referendum passes. A referendum has not yet been called. Why do you need $500 billion? If you can't hack it on your own, why do you need our money? What could you do, Sweet Pea, with $500 billion?
That would help a lot of people that needed help. That would build a lot of homeless shelters to take homeless people in that wanted to come in. That would help a lot of children with cancer that need to get the treatments that they need to get that they're not able to afford. That could actually get a healthcare system in place for people to get, free medical care that wouldn't be able to because their insurance don't cover them. That would allow to hopefully reorganize like the sort of hospital system where people don't need insurance to be seen to get treatment. Yes, that would piss off the insurance companies, but I'm sure the insurance companies would survive. There is a lot of stuff that you would be able to do with that money for the benefit of helping people. I
just can't believe with a straight face that they would expect something like this. $500 billion to keep the state of Alberta propped up if they can secede from Canada.
I'm sorry, but why is Alberta complaining? They got free healthcare. Why are they complaining? I think it's some Trump supporters there are complaining, and I don't think it's a serious issue as what they're saying it is.
Yeah, it's a separatist movement. Wow. That is just amazing. $500 billion. We can't see here's the thing. We can't even take care of our veterans who are living on the streets. We're giving money where they want to buy Greenland. They want to invade and take over Venezuela. They're thinking of bombing Mexico. They're talking about taking over Cuba. They want to take over Iran. And we can't even shell out any money for our own people here.
You could get homeless shelters erected for people to go in. You could redo the healthcare system. You could get animal shelters and rescues put in place as well. There is so much stuff that could be done with that money that would be good, but it's quite hard to think on the spot, what to do. They could sort out a proper healthcare plan for pregnant Black women to ensure that they get the safe and necessary care needed whilst, not only whilst they're pregnant,
Get this.
but after they've given birth as well.
Yeah, listen to this. A spokesman from a conservative think tank in Calgary said that U.S. officials are merely trying to further destabilize Canada. Carlo Dade from the Canada West Foundation described the separatist leaders as attention seekers. He added, the Americans are more than happy to continue playing Canadians off each other. News of the meetings come after Besant appeared to try to stoke the flames of a rift in an interview with right-wing streaming channel Real America's Voice. Alberta's a natural partner for the U.S. They have great resources. The Albertans are very independent people. Not if you need $500 billion. Rumor is they may have a referendum on whether they want to stay in Canada or not. Besant made the comment after complaining that Alberta has a wealth of natural resources, but it's not allowed to build a pipeline to the Pacific Ocean. Correct. We do not want a pipeline from your country to the Pacific Ocean. Earlier this month, Trump shared a Truth Social post that showed an AI-generated image with a map on it that had Canada, Greenland, and Venezuela draped in an American flag. Polling conducted last week, however, suggests that more Albertans are happy being a part of Canada than not. The Ipsos polling found that approximately 7 in 10 residents would vote for their province to stay with Canada. Wow, common sense is still there, I guess. The Alberta Prosperity Project is trying to conjure up 177,000 signatures to bring an independent petition to the legislature before May. The overwhelming majority of Albertans are not interested in becoming a U.S. state. Of course, you see how Americans are treated. Why would you want to be in any way associated with the U.S.? Tell me why.
Do you know if the Trump supporters get in and they actually try and get Alberta to become a part of the 51st state, they're going to lose their health care and the other things that go along with being, the sovereign nation that Canada is. Also, as well, what does that mean for Canadians who can come into the UK without a visa, and what does that mean for people in the UK who can get into Canada without a visa?
Crazy. In our next story, this is taken from Raw Story. Links of all articles will be down in the description. Neo-Nazis arrested on weapons charges plan to strike high-value targets, according to the feds. 2 neo-Nazis arrested last week are accused of buying machine guns as part of an alleged scheme to launch a paramilitary death squad. I mean, okay, this is too good. I have to show you a picture of what these bums look like. I don't know what to call
please
them.
Do. Dumb, dumber, and dumber.
Nazi troll.
Nazi Tweedledum and Tweedledee.
I don't know. Well, this will have to be.
Tweedledum and Tweedledee.
Yeah, this will have to be enough. So look at these fuck sticks. Absolute fuck sticks.
Where are you sending it to? Oh my God.
Yeah, this is them. This is them hiding out in the woods, pretending like they're an actual military. Look at these fuckwits. Tiki torches. And what is he wearing? A cape? A tarp for a cape? Unbelievable.
Are you sure they're not playing airsoft?
That didn't even look like a real gun. The one on the left does. The one on the right looks like a pellet gun or something. One of those pump
Looks like they're
actions.
It looks like they're getting ready to play like airsoft.
Let's continue. They call themselves Automata, a group founded by Andrew Neri, is seen in the undated photo that has circulated on Telegram. These guys are a bunch of jokes. They're idiots. I can see why they got caught.
Hey.
There's what's that?
Don't insult jokes. Jokes are funny. These dudes are not.
So Aiden Suevas, age 20, Andrew Neri, 23, each face a federal charge of conspiracy to traffic in firearms in the Northern District of Alabama. Well, next time start with that. That would have answered a whole lot of questions. They were arrested in January 20th. According to court records, after Suevas met an FBI undercover employee and took possession of 6 illegal firearms with obliterated serial numbers, including 3 fully automatic weapons. Who knew the FBI was still worth a fuck? Wow, they actually got the bad guys this time. Unbelievable.
So you telling me that these guys are from sweet Alabama?
Ugh.
There are so many jokes there.
Yeah. Suevos discussed wanting close quarter battle and urban terrorism training with advanced training on taking out high valued targets. Whatever the fuck that means. Suevos and Neri allegedly met the undercover employee January 12th and paid $1,000 for 4 weapons, with Suevos later paying an additional $500 for 2 weapons for a third man. Suevos has an extensive history in the white power movement with as an enthusiastic promoter of 2119, a teenage neo-Nazi gang linked to hate crimes against Jews, LGBTQ+, and others that was subject of a 2024 Raw Story investigation. Once host of a chat on the social media platform Telegram, promoting skateboarding as a means of indoctrinating alienated young white people into white supremacy. Suevos has been on the FBI's radar for some time. At 17, he announced on Telegram that he would be confined at an Alabama juvenile correction facility because he was, quote, on probation for some bullshit charges of terrorist threat by the FBI. Neri, who has maintained a lower profile, living in Charlotte, North Carolina. There it is. Jews will not replace it. Remember that shit? Unite the right. Yeah, that goes back a ways. He disclosed in a 2023 Telegram chat reviewed by Raw Story that he worked in mold remediation and home repair. The group's use of skull masks signifies identification with accelerationism, a movement that calls for hasting the collapse. The collapse of society to lay the groundwork for a white ethno-state. 2023 Automata. Oh. Here's these 2 fucksticks. There we go. We'll just call them Alabama Nazis. Why not? Tell me what you think of these jagoffs. Yeah, that's what we'll call them. Alabama jagoffs. That's pretty much what they are. There they are. This is white supremacy. This is the master race made manifest.
The master race. They look like something the mother left sliding across the sheet in the morning. Sorry.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, they're killing it. Yeah, these guys are they're well, they got it sewed, man. During the January 12th meeting, according to the affidavit, Suevas told the FBI undercover employees the firearms would be used, among other purposes, to take out Venegas, who Suevas believed was a snitch. Who the fuck is Venegas? Oh, the affidavit identifies Venegas as Ryan Christopher Patrick, a North Carolina man with a history of involvement in the White Power movement. Posting under the username Venegas, Patrick was the administrator for the Telegram chat, Fasher magazine. They can't even trust each other. In 2023, Patrick participated in a protest against a drag show held at a yoga studio in Sanford, North Carolina, alongside Jarrett William Smith, who had served a federal prison sentence for distributing bomb-making instructions on the internet. And these people think that they are better than a drag queen. People that aren't hurting anybody, people that aren't threatening anybody, and these people, these malcontents, these boneheads, are in and out of the prison system because of their fucked up ideology. So, there they are. Another one, Suevas told a fellow white nationalist that he is the enemy. He's snitching on the whole of Patriot Front. So, yeah, so their group is fracturing. Good job, guys. They're their own worst enemies. Isn't that nice? As a 16-year-old, Gil Branson unfurled a swastika flag and yelled racial slurs outside a drag show in Cookeville, Tennessee. Later that year, he was part of a group of neo-Nazis who escorted Gabriel Hansen, a mayoral candidate in Franklin, Tennessee, to a candidate forum. Gabriel Hansen, why does that name ring a bell? Go ahead.
I have a fun fact. Did you know that skateboarding didn't become popularized until Marty and Clyde Grimes in 1975 made it become popular? Two black men who loved skateboarding made skateboarding popular. I don't know if you knew that.
Nope, I did not.
There was also a Charles William, who was the Quarterly Skateboarder Spring in 1965. And there was a Larry Beetleman, skateboarder fall 1975. And there's also a Gilbert Angelo, skateboarder, May 1978. And the first pro board was Marty Grimes Z Flex 1979. Just a few fun facts.
These three men were core members of a neo-Nazi group called the North Bama Brigade. North Bama Brigade has held joint gatherings with Southern Sons, a neo-Nazi group whose members were hit with felony conspiracy charges last week for allegedly carrying out hate crimes. According to messages cross-posted by the two groups on Telegram, Southern Sons hosted North Bama Brigade in Atlanta in June 2024, providing an opportunity to bond, train, and fight for our race. The two groups reconvened 2 months later for an extensive wilderness trip into Tennessee for the purpose of bonding, training, and swimming activities. Meanwhile, you got people like Pastor Locke, that fuckstain, crying about books in libraries, crying about COVID-19 masks. Oh, we got to do this, we got to do that. Crying about drag shows. And he's got Nazis literally meeting in the state that he lives in. But he's not concerned about that, is he? He's not concerned about hate groups.
Oh my God, is Greg Locke still knocking around?
I just blocked him on TikTok.
Oh, is he on TikTok? Holy
Yep.
shit.
I don't want to shit. I don't want to see.
Oh, what's that? What's that traitor that makes the pancakes? Terrence K. Williams? I haven't seen him for ages either. Sorry about that, folks.
Yeah, that's all right. But yeah, so this is what it's like, dealing with fucksticks. Let me see. Yeah, I have that. Oh, here's some good news.
Do you know those pictures? They look like they belong on Grindr.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, are they still up? Ugh. Go away.
Yeah, they're still up.
And now they're gone. Yeah, I don't. But yeah, it's just amazing to me. These people who will claim that, oh, there's no way we're racists, and yet here they are, don't have a thing to say for the racists that are stirring up shit in their state. That's okay. It doesn't matter.
Isn't that what all racists say, that they're not racist?
Yep.
Instead of calling shit out, they're like, oh, we're not racist, but we're just going to be quiet about what we see going on.
Yep.
We're just as culpable as them.
Tesla profits plunges as AI expenses pile up and sales fall. Yes, indeed. So Tesla's quarterly profit dropped sharply as Elon Musk's company deals with a slowdown in electric vehicle sales and ballooning costs. Tesla, basically Elon Musk had ambitions for Tesla to become an AI powerhouse, but he needs electric vehicle revenues to pay for the bills, to pay for all those servers, to pay for this, to pay for that. The automaker's net income fell 61%, or to $840 million in the fourth quarter compared with the year earlier. That is huge. The revenue declined 3% to $24.9 billion. Operating expenses soared 39%, sending operating margins down to 5.7%. So anyway, but I mean, his stocks are doing good, unfortunately, but the sales are just, I tell you, the cult of Tesla is going to have to be studied if it hasn't already been studied already. But these people are just, they are out of their minds.
Talking about out of their minds, did you know that some mad person from the UK has let Elon Musk implant his Neuralink chip inside his brain?
Yes. I haven't read the story, but
What a
I've heard about
disaster.
it.
What a disaster that's going to be.
Well, I mean, he's already paralyzed, so I don't know how worse it can get. But I guess watch the space. So well, anyway, that's that. Let's see, what else did we have?
Musk has been fined.
Oh, that's fine.
Mm-hmm. So EU's decision fined 120 million fine on Elon Musk's X, released by US lawmakers. So, like, I haven't read it all, but apparently UK is fining Elon Musk 120 million for X. Under the chair rep Jim Jordan. Isn't Jim Jordan a cunt? Sorry. But he is. I don't like Jim Jordan. Who's political once described as a critical ally of Musk. Musk is a cunt as well, sorry. I don't like him either. On Monday, the committee said in a series of posts on X that it has obtained the 183-page enforcement decision after issued a subpoena, and that it will continue investigating to protect American innovation and American speech from what is called foreign censors. I'm sorry, hate speech is not free speech, regardless of how you try and cut it. X has gone it's worse than a sewer. I would rather swim naked in a sewer than spend a single second having to look through X. It has got that bad and that disgusting on it. Even that AI fucking creature Elon fucking created is racist. That is running rampant and is racist on there. Even the AI on there is. So I'm in fully support of the UK government fining Elon Musk 120 million for letting this racism go on. If Elon wants to play the big bad, oh, look at me, I got a social media fucking platform, then he gets to deal with the grown-up adulting side of being responsible for what goes on in that platform. Social media platforms, the owners need to be held accountable for what goes on in them, because it does have real-life consequences of what is said on those platforms, and there is no getting away from that accountability. You got any more news?
Yeah, just a bunch of idiots. So a Maga couple decided to attack a woman. These people. Let me show you. Yeah, after this one. Because it's going to coincide. Guaranteed. Yeah. My sentiments exactly.
Why is she wearing a tablecloth?
Because their fashion sense is on par with their sense.
The 1950s are calling for their table doilies
This
back.
this was in Pennsylvania. A night out at a Pennsylvania bar turned deadly. Turned deadly. Almost. A racially charged assault that left a woman injured and shaken. Authorities say a Baltimore woman was attacked January 10th at Hanover Eagles Club in New York County after a confrontation that quickly escalated from hostile questioning to physical violence. A local couple, Richard Willis Mitchell Jr. and Sarah Tresnak, Mitchell, 62, Tresnak, 51, now face charges including misdemeanor, ethnic intimidation, disorderly conduct, and harassment. These people do not know how to conduct themselves in public. According to court documents and reporting from the Evening Sun, the victim was approached by the pair and questioned about where she was from and her ethnicity, like it's any of their fucking business. When she explained that her father is black and Puerto Rican and her mother is Italian, police say the tone immediately shifted. Mitchell allegedly told the woman that Hanover was a redneck town and warned her that she wasn't going to make it here. Moments later, the argument turned violent. Police say Mitchell grabbed the woman by the neck and forced her to the ground while Tresnak struck her repeatedly. During the assault, Mitchell allegedly shouted racial slurs, including the N-word, and told the woman she didn't belong here and go back to Pigtown. This is MAGA. This is a MAGA town. Other patrons inside the club intervened, pulled the attackers away, and stopped the beating. When officers arrived, they documented visible injuries consistent with the woman's account, including bruising around her eyes, arms, scrapes, abrasions. Multiple witnesses collaborated that the woman told the police, according to the criminal complaint. The couple later acknowledged that an altercation took place, but claimed the woman attacked them first. Police say witness statements and physical evidence contradicted the version of events. No shit. God damn. The victim, who had been targeted over her race and identity, required medical attention and was left dealing not only with physical injuries, but the trauma of a public attack fueled by hate. Mitchell and Tresnak are scheduled to return to court February 17th. The case remains under review as prosecutors move forward on charges tied to what police described as a racially motivated assault. I tell you what, the Trump administration has got these fuckwits all turned around and confused. They think just because Donald Trump is in the White House that they get to have carte blanche, do whatever, say whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, they seem to think that they're excused from the consequences of their despicable, disgusting actions. And sooner or later, they will all be held accountable for every single thing they've done. We just need to get the clowns out of office first. And we can only do that is by people going out to actually vote the fuckers out.
Mm-hmm.
So you heard last week about the 5-year-old detained by ICE.
Yep.
Liam Ramos.
Okay.
So where he's been detained, his health is deteriorating. He's been held in a immigration detention center at the moment.
Where?
He has stopped eating. It doesn't say where, but he has stopped eating and he's asking for his mother. So he's not eating at the moment and he is deteriorating. From my understanding, isn't Liam Ramos a US citizen? Why is he still being detained? Why are they holding him? Why haven't they released his mother, who was also a US citizen? Why are they holding him? And, you know, why is he separate from his mother?
Cruelty is the point.
It's disgusting. I seriously hope that lawyers or someone can get him and his mother out so he can get the healthcare that he needs. Because if this is left to go on much
Yeah,
longer,
he's scared out of his mind.
He's going
Poor
to be
kid.
another innocent. Yeah, he's going to be another innocent participant in Trump's destructive murder spree of innocent people.
And this is why I do not want people like this to be able to just slip through the cracks, reinvent themselves, and go on about their lives as if nothing happened. These people deserve shame for the rest of their unnatural lives.
Do you want to hear another bit of news?
Last one.
So, a man has been accused of impersonating a federal agent in a bid to allegedly free Luigi Mangione
Mangione.
from custody. Yeah, Mangione. Thank you. Sorry, I butchered that. Apologies to everyone. I did absolutely butcher that name. But yes, a man has been accused of impersonating an officer. I do not mean to laugh. That is serious. He shouldn't have done that.
You don't impersonate FBI.
No, you don't. Yeah, just don't.
You mission impossible that shit. You come from the roof and go down, get him, and then go back up. That's how you do. Come on. Do we have to explain this?
On a serious note, please do not be impersonating officers. You're just going to get yourselves in trouble. And not only that, it's going to affect Luigi's case.
I don't think so. Unless he had something to do with it. It's if they can't tie him to that, it's not gonna.
Listen. The law is an ass.
Well,
the law is an ass. And even if he didn't have anything to do with that guy doing what he did, the law is an ass and will try to make an even bigger example out of him for other people's actions, even if he wasn't involved, because the law is an ass. And I can't even stress that enough.
well, let's keep our heads up and, hope for the best. And with that, I want to thank you all for sticking it out with us. Thank you for watching us here. If you like independent media, if you appreciate independent media and you would like more of it in your lives, please consider supporting the show, Cash App, Venmo, or become a patron subscriber.
Yes, and tomorrow we will discuss that federal officer who clashed with Alex Pretty 11 days before he murdered him. We will talk about that tomorrow. So please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. We appreciate all your support, and we'll see you all on the flip side.
All right. Take care, everybody. Good night.
Wake up, grab a brush and put a little makeup. Hide the scars to fade away. Why'd you leave the keys up on the table? Here you go, create another fable. You wanted to grab a brush and put a little makeup. You wanted to hide the scars to fade away. Why'd you leave the keys up on the table? You wanted to. I don't think you trust in my self-righteous suicide. this is so